Hello there. So since the planting season is fast approaching here in Canada, I've been doing a lot of videos about container gardening. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing a simple checklist that you can use to plan and start up your own container garden from scratch. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Zumi and I'm a Nigerian living in Canada. So on this channel, I share about my life in Canada as an immigrant, container gardening tutorials, recipe remixes using Nigerian and Canadian ingredients, self-development tips, and so much more. So if this kind of content appeals to you, kindly consider clicking the subscribe button so that you can receive notifications when I upload new videos each week. Setting up a container garden is very easy, especially if you know what you are doing and what exactly you'll be needing. So I'm making this video with complete beginners in mind, and if you make use of this checklist that I'll be sharing in this video, you'll be able to easily set up your container garden like a pro and enjoy your harvests in due season. So the first thing you'll be needing to start up your container garden is obviously containers, right? So there are many options out there. You can use wood, plastic, ceramics, felt grow bags, plastic or nylon grow bags, and so much more. There are so many options out there. But for me, I personally prefer making use of plastic containers because they are affordable and they are also very durable. I usually buy my containers at dollar stores or on Facebook Marketplace because I find them to be way cheaper there than any other place I've tried to buy containers before. I'll be making a separate video on how to choose the right container size for whatever it is you want to plant, because container size is an important factor you need to consider if you want to have good harvests in your container gardening venture. I'll encourage you to watch that video before buying your own containers, especially if you don't have an idea of what container works best for what you want to grow this year. So I'll put a link to the video in the description box when it is ready. Another thing you'll be needing for your container garden is soil. And I normally buy my soil at the garden centers of departmental stores like Walmart, Canadian Tires, and so on. And it can get quite confusing when you get to the garden center because there are different types of soil. There is topsoil, there is triple mixes. They're just different types of soil. So, but what I normally go for, the best type of soil you will be needing is called triple mix. So it is made up of 1/3 of peat moss, 1/3 of topsoil, and 1/3 of compost, and it is very good for growing vegetables. So I normally use the ProMix brand of triple mix, which is called ProMix Organic Premium Vegetable and Herb Mix. But you don't have to use that. You can just look out for any triple mix soil. So for the particular brand I use, they have this 85-liter bag, which costs about $17. That was as at last year, about $17, right? And I used 3 big bags of that to start my container. So the quantity of bags of soil you'll be needing will be dependent on the number of containers you are going to be using. So if you have lots of containers, obviously you'll be needing more soil, and if you have fewer containers, then you'll be needing less soil. So if you plan to have a really big container garden, then it might be cheaper for you to consider buying your triple mix soil from a local soil supplier, and they normally sell it in cubic yards. And this will definitely be cheaper for you because, like for myself, I'm going to be buying 1 cubic yard of soil to add to what I already have, and that costs like $35 plus delivery from the people I'm buying from, and it is way cheaper, than the ones that I buy in packets for $17 per 85 liters. So you might want to consider checking out your local triple mix suppliers. So the next thing you'll be needing is plant food. I had mentioned in my introductory video to container gardening that you can plant your crops organically, but myself, I've been using water soluble fertilizers, and the one I normally use is Miracle Grow water soluble fertilizer for vegetables and herbs. But this year I'm considering doing organic gardening, so I'll be trying the Miracle Grow organic fertilizer, and hopefully maybe I'll try doing some composting this year so that I will go more towards the organic gardening, side. What you would use to nourish your plants depends on your preference. You can go for maybe a regular manure or compost, or you can just go for fertilizers, which I find to be easy. I just take a scoop of the water soluble one and use it when I'm watering the plants, and then I'm good to go. So whichever one you prefer, you can try it out. And you can easily get this, like I said, at your local garden center. Most of the things I'm mentioning, you can get them at your local garden center. Number 4 thing you'll be needing is mulch. And mulch is basically organic materials that you place on top of the soil, just at the root of your plants, to prevent the sun from taking up all the moisture at a go. I've never used mulches before in all this while I've been doing my gardening, but last year the heat was so much that I had to be watering my plants 3 times a day because the moisture was just going up right away. So I've checked my local garden center and I've seen mulches around the range of $4.99 and so on. And they're usually made of maybe wood, coconut coir and all that, and they disintegrate. As they disintegrate, they become part of the soil, and they even add food, more or less, or nutrition to your plants. Number 5 thing you'll be needing if you're going to be planting fruiting vegetables or climbing vegetables is tomato cages, stakes, plant clips, trellises, and so on. So fruiting vegetables like tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, and all that, they become top heavy by the time they start fruiting, so they need some support. I normally make use of tomato cages, and I pick them from Dollarama or any dollar store. But then those ones from dollar stores are usually like more flimsy than the ones you might get from, let's say, Canadian Tires or and so on. So, but even if you decide to buy the ones from Dollarama, I'm going to show you during the planting season how you can be able to set them up in a way that enables them to do the job perfectly. So number 6 on the checklist is seeds or seedlings. And in my last video, I shared that I'm going to be planting African vegetables like water leaf, bitter leaves, and so on. So if you are also interested in planting African vegetables for yourself, then you might want to check out the link that I'm going to be placing up here, okay, to find out where you can buy your own seeds and when to start planting them. For the seeds of regular vegetables like tomatoes, peppers, kales, spinach, and so on, you can easily buy them at your local garden center or even at shops like Walmart, Canadian Tire, and so on. So, but if you don't want to start from seeds and you prefer to grow seedlings, which are basically seeds that have already been grown and they've sprouted to a particular point, then you can easily also buy your seedlings at your local garden center. And then when the weather is warm and nice enough for your plants, you can easily transplant them outside. The 7th thing you might be needing for your container garden would be homemade or store-bought pesticides. So when you start planting your garden, all of nature will know that something is going on. So the insects and the crawling things and all manner of things would start coming over to help you in your garden. And sometimes when they become too much, then they turn into pests. So when that is the case, you definitely will need to use pesticides to control them. So as the season continues, I'm going to also share on how to make homemade pesticides or which pesticides might be safe for you as your plants, especially if you are really focused on doing organic gardening. The last thing you might need, which could actually be optional, is a watering can. You can choose to invest in a watering can, or you can easily use your watering hose that you use for watering your lawn. But why I like to use watering cans is because I regularly use water soluble fertilizers to feed my plants. And so with the watering can, let's say the watering can be like 5 or 6 gallons. You can easily scoop in the quantity of fertilizer that is needed and then pour in the exact amount of water based on the labels on the watering can and easily water your plants. So if you're going to be using your watering hose, it might be more challenging to do that. So, but if you don't want to get a watering can, what I used to do before I got one was I just measure in whatever is needed into a bucket, and then I get a jug that has a measurement on it and use it and fill the water up to the quantity that is needed for the fertilizer, and then I pour it on the plants. So these are basically the things you'll be needing for your container garden. So I'll show us a quick recap of what you'll be needing in a list, and you can easily screenshot it and save for yourself. So most of the things on the list are actually reusable, like the containers, the soil, and some others. So it's only in the first year that you find yourself spending maybe a little bit more than you might be comfortable with. But in subsequent years, you spend like little or nothing, depending on if you save seeds and some other factors. So I will encourage you to start looking around you so that you can figure out where you can get some of these items ahead of time and probably make a budget to decide on what it is that will work for you. And when it comes to the containers, like I mentioned, I'm going to make another video to talk about the right container size. But as soon as you watch that video, I would encourage you to go ahead and start buying your containers, because during the planting season, sometimes the planters get scarce. So if you're enjoying these container gardening videos, I will encourage you to share it with your loved ones so that it can also add value to them, and also that will be your way of supporting what I'm doing, and that will be very much appreciated. Also, if you've not yet subscribed, please kindly consider clicking the subscribe button so that you can receive notifications when I upload new videos, and also so that you can give your girl some more morale to make more videos for you. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye bye.